Hello, everyone. My name is Brandon. This is AJ, and welcome to our Armchair Analysis series, where we'll be talking each week about every game. And in this video, we're talking about Week 3. Enjoy. Okay, so the first game of Week 3, Day 1 was CLG versus Echo Fox.
Yep.
A game that we were both personally a little worried and hyped for.
Yes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
CLG's draft was really smart, in my opinion.
I liked it a lot.
They took away the Zach from Dardoch, who's been an absolute monster on Zach.
Azir from Phoenix and Cassiopeia from Phoenix.
Yeah,
that's really good pulls from him.
Definitely.
And they drafted with the clear goal in mind. Control early objectives. They had Nunu Callista, which is smart for not only that reason. Of course, you have the consume on Nunu, this rend on Callista, but Blood Boil increases attack speed by a lot, and Callista's super attack speed dependent. So their comp works together.
Especially with Reignover being like that PvE style jungler. He's all about controlling the enemy camps, etc. So I think it's a really smart pick for him. You get in a game, and very early on, Dardoch comes out with the monster gank on Gragas.
It's honestly one of the nastiest ganks I've seen, just because if you look at it from Hui's perspective, you're at your tower and then you're dead.
Yeah, seriously.
You don't know Dardoch's there until you're dead, and it's just like, oh.
Yeah,
okay.
So Hui is at his tower, Dardoch is on the other side, he ease over, flashes, and before Hui knows what's going on, he's dead.
Yeah.
Now, some really good stuff from CLG following that. 6A does not lose lane.
6A wins lane.
He wins lane.
Wins lane.
2018 6A winning lane.
Yes. 6A wins lane. Fox puts a pretty good amount of pressure onto Hui in the mid lane on his Zoe. Wasn't a crazy impressive performance by him, but he did hit some good Qs. And some good sleepy trouble bubbles to swing some fights. Overall, promising for CLG that they were able to take this game. I don't think Echo Fox played bad by any means. I think especially Phoenix and Dardoch were playing really well.
Yeah, there was that fight around topside where Darshan had come off of the solo kill on Huni and had some choice words about that.
Yes.
And he's obviously really hyped to going back in again. Dardoch is there because they don't CLG doesn't have enough wards to see Dardoch coming. And as they're chasing him, Darshan gets under tower. Then Dardoch baits out the flash with his
body slam,
which is really smart. Yeah, and then he flashes
ults. And
beautiful play.
Huni flashes in for the Q kill.
Yep. CLG grabs Baron, makes a push. Everything kind of gets reset. Yep. There's another fight around Baron,
which Phoenix was just done pushing the top tower, so he swings around and catches Hui out, kills him. CLG tries to back off through their blue buff side of their jungle. Huni teleports in behind them, and they get a pretty good wipe on CLG.
Yeah,
pretty good fight. So they take Baron.
Yep.
And then what do they do with that Baron?
They go straight over to Elder
Dragon. They don't prep the waves that much.
No.
They don't prep vision that much.
No.
They don't push the waves out and try to control that area. They kind of just dance around the Elder Dragon.
Yeah.
And I'm not entirely sure why, but CLG respawns, goes over to the area.
Yep.
CLG's got Callista, CLG's got Nunu. The objective dances when it's just a pure 5-on-5 is, kind of iffy in Echo Fox's favor. And Dardoch sees an opportunity to go on to CLG, doesn't really get anybody, and then CLG just sees the opportunity.
Yeah, they collapse.
Cleans up the fight, takes Eldritch, and then just wins the game.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, pretty promising for CLG, but still a good game from Echo Fox.
Yeah, it's not like all hope is lost or anything like that. They played really well. They're good players. It's just nice for CLG fans to be like, okay, Stixay can play well.
Yeah.
Reignover can play well.
Yeah.
Some funny new mechanics in there, but they won the game.
For sure.
Cool stuff. So the next game is the Cloud9 versus Optic game. Optic actually opted for a similar comp that CLG did the previous game with Nunu and Kalista, but they take an Urgot top, which was strange to me.
They're trying to give Zig like comfort picks because he hasn't been playing very well, like at all.
Yeah, I mean, and I can understand like the Maokai, just to like say, hey, lose lane, you're gonna be useful anyways. Urgot doesn't really work that way.
No, and he didn't work that way.
And he didn't work that way. So, pretty much what happens is Cloud9. Smoothie is a beast.
He's been playing out of his mind the entire split. In this game, he was insane.
A lot of playmaking from Smoothie on Alistair this game.
They have like a lot of pressure bot lane.
Yeah, it's hard to talk about just because there wasn't like a whole lot of like explosive action in the game. Just a lot of like really smart map movements from Cloud9. They played the map really well, and they had like the de facto split push combo this season in the Gnar and the Rise, which is really hard to deal with. And you know, they used it really well. They just pressured Optic out, and then at one point, Optic thinks they have Jensen. He ult Zanya's out, and they follow him because he's so low, but they go into this like tight corridor near red team's blue buff jungle, and Licorice is behind them, Sneaky's in front of them. They just get smushed and die, and Cloud9 takes the game after that.
After they just win. Overall, really good game from Cloud9. And Optic, if they don't get an early lead, it seems like they have no idea what to do.
Yes.
Even with an early lead, they don't know what to do. But
but when you don't have an early lead at all, it's looking rough for them.
For sure.
Cloud9 looks really good.
Yeah, they do. It's really exciting. Cool. I mean, Sneaky and Smoothie synergy is the best it's ever been, in my opinion. Jensen's still playing out of his mind, but I think he's playing like almost better than last season, not individually, but at first team, which is really important. And
Licorice is showing up. I don't think he really has like a bad game per se until maybe like tomorrow's game. I don't want to say it's bad by any means, but it's just not.
I think there's a little bit more going on there than just his gameplay. But and then Sven Skaren has been playing much better. He looks pretty good.
Yes, he really does.
Yeah, so overall, just really good game from Cloud9. But I mean, whenever Optic isn't always the most impressive thing, to be completely honest.
Very true.
So the following game would be the Clutch Gaming versus 100 Thieves. So Clutch Gaming like opt for this really like mid-game focused, global heavy, which is good, and there's like a clear objective in mind for them. Solo is top lane on Jace, so like again, like they have all this like early mid-game power that they're really looking to spike off of, and in a way they kind of do that.
No, they do. They like do a pretty good job. It's hard for 100 Thieves to keep up because they just try and keep like picking fights, and Shen comes in, Galio comes in. Solo played pretty well.
Yeah, he actually. Which is good because like he hasn't been very impressive so far, and I wouldn't say this was like a breakout performance from him.
No,
but I think he held his own. On a pick like Jace, it's not always easy to do.
So Clutch Gaming just actually they don't have like a game controlling lead like or a game like finalizing lead, I should say. But they hold a pretty substantial lead throughout the most of the game. But the problem arises when you have a comp that has two main damage dealers, and in Jace and Kalista, who both kind of late game just fall off compared to like a Tristana and a Talia in the mid lane versus Febivin on Galio, who can't really pump out damage. They just get outscaled. And they take a fight near Baron on 35 minutes into the game. They're trying to bait 100 Thieves into it. They try to do the classic Jarvan Galio ult combo, and they get one person. They get Avramu
on Braum,
and then they just kind of split up and just get railed by Cody Sun and Ryu.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, the late game potential of a Tristana is going to be so much larger. They being Clutch Gaming were really effective in, I think, shutting down like the bot lane and the mid lane for the most part in the beginning stages of the game. But later, Cody Sun popped off and he was all over the place jumping in and getting kills from Tristana. And same for Ryu. He looked pretty good on Talia as well. Yeah. So, I mean, it eventually just gets to the point where Clutch is completely outscaled and they just cannot defend.
Yeah, they just didn't get enough of a lead to just close out the game. They ended up only ever getting one inhibitor turret, and it wasn't even that. It was like the minions.
Yeah.
It was like,
It was a pretty good win from 100 Thieves. It's a little worrying for Clutch because they're, now 2-4, I believe. And their only wins haven't come off any, like, super substantial teams for what I can remember. So, like, they have, like, a good lineup, I think. I think that they're not super cohesive, and it also doesn't seem like they have a clear shot caller on the team. Yeah. So
I mean, they definitely have a really good potential, and I think they can do well. But
might have to wait till later.
The late game shot calling and decision making doesn't seem up to par.
Yeah, I agree. Following game. Is
FlyQuest versus Team Liquid.
Oh boy. Oh jeez. Team Liquid is absolutely insane.
They're monstrous.
They might be just like straight up from like just a viewer perspective the best team in the league.
They look like they're the best. That doesn't mean they are the best.
They play like they're the best too.
They look like they're the best.
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean.
Now, what actually happens in the game? It's the quickest game of the split so far.
Yes. Spoiler alert.
Until tomorrow.
Today.
Until today, but the next day.
Today's tomorrow. Okay.
So what happens in the game is Keen. I think it's funny how like the drafts kind of like chain where like CLG picked Nunu and Callista, and so Optic the next game picked Nunu and Callista.
Yeah.
And then Clutch Gaming picked Galio, and then FlyQuest picked Galio, and whatever. Pobelter actually pulls out the Corki counter pick to great effect.
Oh my goodness. He was a monster.
FlyQuest just looks like they take fights this game without like knowing what fights they should take. Especially
they're playing desperate at like all stages of the game.
Stunt, like engaging bot lane without vision. Shrimp is subbing in for Onda this week, and he just did not have a good performance.
No. Which, I mean, I would kind of like to know more about what's going on there, because Onda had some really good games on Zach, and then I believe there was a game, like the most recent one that he played, where Zach was banned, and he didn't have like a great game on it. There has to be more there, because I don't think that warrants like a benching. But aside from that, they sub in Shrimp, and he's just really not looking good. I mean, there's not a huge sample size, but I mean, if you're subbing Shrimp in to improve this team, it's just straight up not working.
Moving on, honestly, Xmithy is a beast.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's kind of already, been there, done that. He enables Pobelter to get some kills mid lane. The game just like falls apart from there. Liquid gets a lead, and they just make everything out of it.
Yeah, he gets the double kill mid, and then he goes bot and gets some kills, and then he gets more kills.
And then it's just game over, dude.
It's kind of
game over, man.
A complete steamroll, honestly. There's just not so much to say except for Team Liquid.
They get their leads, and they just crush the other team with the lead. It's crazy. 27 and a half minutes.
Quick game. Final game of the day was TSM versus the Golden Guardians.
Sort of similar story.
A little bit more slow, a little
controlled.
Bit more,
right.
Which, I mean, not necessarily a bad thing, especially coming from TSM. But they haven't been looking so hot, and again, a win on Golden Guardians isn't the biggest indicator that they're on the upswing.
But still, knowing that you can play slow / medium pace game, but still come out looking like more dominant. And actually, the game didn't end up being that long.
It was like 33 minutes, which compared to like their win over Optic, which is like a team I would say in a similar caliber of Golden Guardians, where the Optic game bled over 60 minutes. TSM got the lead. Mike Young looks so much better this week.
Yeah.
He had an interview afterwards where he said that Mithy kind of like talked him down. It was like, you need to play without regrets and just do your thing. Yeah. And it did seem like Mike Young, and honestly TSM as a whole, was kind of playing a little like they're like a little too scared to make the wrong play. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they're a little bit more unhinged. I think they looked really good this game. TSM won every lane as they should have. They were really good about map plays and objective control, and they kind of just took everything they needed and pushed it straight down and won.
Yeah, almost a perfect game.
Yep. Golden Guardians got 2 towers. That's it. That's the only thing they got. TSM looked really good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That ends day 1 of week 3.
Yes, it does.
So the first game of the second day of week 3 was Echo Fox versus Optic Gaming.
Yeah.
Echo Fox came out to a strong early lead. Pretty disastrous early game for Optic.
Yes.
Darduck back on his sack.
Yes.
He's just been crushing it on that champion this split so far.
Probably the best in NA. I think by like a good margin too.
Yeah. So Echo Fox is playing really well, and then for whatever reason they start trolling. They start trolling. There was like a fight top lane that they lose 2 at, and then there is a number disadvantage for them at the dragon, like a minute later or something like that. Dark opts into like a 2v5.
Yeah, well, he jumps straight into the dragon pit to try to like steal, I guess, but he just gets killed, and then Alltech is like behind him and doesn't like leave immediately, so like he's trying to poke them out, and he ends up getting killed. And then right after that happened, Phoenix like runs up and is there too, and they rise ulti onto him and kill him too. So it's like they were just running in one after another,
one by one, and they just give like 6 straight kills.
It goes from 9-0 to 9-6.
Yeah,
in the matter of like 3 minutes.
So you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, like what are they doing?
They're throwing. Then they find a pick top lane and trade one of theirs for it. So it's a 1-for-1, and Echo Fox moves to take Baron. So it's an even matchup, and they get Baron low. Acadian hops over on Kha'Zix, steals it, and now Optic has Baron.
Yes.
And so you're just like, oh my god.
Yeah, you're like, where's this game going?
What are you doing?
The answer is
winning the game.
Yes. Optic does absolutely nothing with Baron.
Literally nothing with Baron. Actually, literally nothing. I'm trying to think, and it's just like
they just like hold.
They just hold,
and then Echo Fox waits for Elder and Baron to come up because they come at the same time.
Yeah, it waits for their adrenaline to lower, so they can just like think clearly and be like, okay, we still have this. They still had a really big lead in gold, and so Darduck finds the right Zac engages.
Yeah.
And
Fox gets Elder and Baron uncontested, and there's no way Optic can hold against that, and Echo Fox just pushes the base down and wins.
Yeah.
So, I mean, another good game from Echo Fox. It's crazy, like, mid-game. I don't know what was going on there. You'd like to think that against another team they wouldn't do something as crazy. Like, it seemed like they thought that they were, like, way further ahead than they were, even though they were really far ahead, and taking all these, like, weird, like, number disadvantage fights.
Like, oh, yeah, we're just, like, gonna win this game no matter what. And then, yeah, they still won, but against a better team, who knows what would have happened with that.
But still, with that, Echo Fox...
They still take the game.
Yep, 5-1. Looking pretty good, for sure. And Optic... on the other end of the spectrum, 1-5. Yep. Following game, 100 Thieves versus TSM. That game, it was actually like pretty back and forth, at least at the very beginning. They get an early pick bot. 100 Thieves gets like a really good engage onto their bot lane with like a flash Alistair back in.
Like retro classic Apromu on Alistair playmaking,
which is really cool, and it was really clean. And then Mike Young comes down a little bit later, and he's like trying to clear out some vision and maybe set up a gank. But at this point, Ryu is on Twisted Fate, and he's hit 6. So they see Mike Young on a ward, and they just instantly collapse on him and get the kill. So it's looking really good for 100 Thieves at this point.
Spoiler alert, that's the only 2 kills that they got this entire game.
It doesn't look any better for them after that.
Haunter,
oh my goodness,
is perhaps TSM's best player right now.
I would agree with that.
He opts into ends up in the counter matchup. Some days playing Vlad into his Gangplank, and Haunter just crushes it.
He's out farming him.
Yeah.
It's absolutely insane. Like Haunter's out farming him, and then of course he has the Gangplank factor where he's occurring even more gold while already smashing him in CS.
Yes.
So it's a completely one-sided matchup. At this point, like 100 Thieves just looks like they have no idea what to do. There's a fight around Baron with TSM. TSM's there first, which it seems like they're always there first. They're moving together this entire game. TSM are taking Baron. Right before it goes down, you have Someday teleporting in like towards the top side of the river while the rest of 100 Thieves is like sort of collapsing bot side. So what ends up happening is they collapse immediately onto Someday after taking Baron, kill him, and then they pick off Aframu while they're like trying to come up to the river to contest. But at this point, it's way too late, and I don't even understand why they bothered. But yeah, at that point, I mean, TSM, they have Baron, and they have 2 kills down on him. So, I mean, they end up just making like a huge push. They don't win off of that push.
Yeah, they have to push a little bit more. But at this point, Mithy on Ornn has so much CDR that he's just fishing for
Call the Forge God.
Cody-san.
Oh yeah,
Cody-san.
He used
fishing for Cody-san every time, and eventually it ends up working out.
Yeah, because Mithy's he's using his ult on cooldown, which is actually really proactive, and combined with Gangplank ulti. They're just destroying them every time. There's even like a fight near the very end of the game around mid where it kind of looks like it's going 100 Thieves' way because Cody's getting so much damage off, but Mithy ends up like zoning him away from the fight and doesn't even die. So it allows like TSM to pick up the rest of the kills, end up pushing in. Like I said, a decent start for 100 Thieves, but TSM completely took over this game. So like as opposed to like yesterday with their win against Golden Guardians, this is way more convincing against a better team.
Yeah. I mean, not much more to say about it than that. TSM is on the up and up. Yeah,
they look much better.
You know, a lot of these teams this week are starting to show, a lot of the better teams are starting to show more cohesion, cleaner gameplay. I think we're really starting to see where the standings are probably going to end up. At least, you know, on the top and bottom ends, probably, for this week.
Yeah, I agree.
Speaking of the top and bottom ends of the standings, Team Liquid versus Golden Guardians was the next game.
Well, we didn't have much to say about FlyQuest versus Team Liquid.
So that was the quickest game of the split. This today became the quickest game of the split. My only notes on this game was one word, and that was wow. Team Liquid,
they just smashed everywhere. They just have winning matchups like everywhere, and they know it, and they play like they were much better.
And they played faster. They collapsed faster. They played team fights better. So I mean, you would have some like really like close skirmishes, but then Pobelter comes out with 2 kills, and when Pobelter gets 2 kills, apparently he ends up getting 4 kills, 6 kills. Like it
was almost like the same thing from the FlyQuest game. It's like Golden Guardians tried to force early, which in some way kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be proactive early, and you want to shut down this monster of a team.
So they gave up 2 kills mid early, and then there's like a fight around Dragon where like it kind of looks like it's going okay for Golden Guardians, but they don't do enough damage.
Yeah.
So Team Liquid collapses, and there ends up going 4 kills in the way of Team Liquid. And
then from there, it's over.
Yeah, the game is just over.
Team Liquid is like, okay, we have the lead. That means we won. So let's just end the game now.
The one grabbed Baron and won.
26 minutes.
Yep. Absolutely destroyed him. There's really not much more to say. Team Liquid's obviously at the top, and Golden Guardians is obviously at the bottom. Yeah.
Feels bad.
Yeah.
Feels bad for contracts not having a not having a good split so far.
No, I mean, there's like something to say about obviously the team around him.
For sure.
Kind of like the whole situation with Rainover last year, but in the same sense as Rainover, like even his individual micro play is bad, and his macro is bad.
You can only you only go so far to saying like, oh, my team is bad.
Yeah, like he's just not playing well. He's like has all these really weird engages. He's like whiffing all of his abilities. He just looks straight up bad. Yeah. And after all, like the not really rumors, because he came out and said like kind of what happened, where it seems like he was kind of trying to explore his options, and Cloud9 was like, well, it's getting a little late. We're trying to pick somebody else up. Yeah. And after all of this talk about like who got the better offseason, Cloud9, they're looking pretty good.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, the next game was Clutch Gaming versus Cloud9. Oh my goodness, dude. This game went on forever, and it seemed like Clutch was like, let's pick a comp that just like last forever.
Yeah, but doesn't win.
Yeah, no, and it's not gonna win. They had crazy wave clear,
good disengage. They had like the Taric ultimate to absorb damage, Gragas ult to blow back any like engages and stuff like that. But Cloud9 just kind of was the better team.
Yeah.
They got a lead and just like slowly pushed it out. I mean, and to their credit, like you could even hear it on the caster desk. They were like, what do we say about this game?
Yeah.
Like, what could they have done better?
Yeah.
You can't really think of a whole lot.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, one of the only like interesting things that was going on in this game was the top lane matchup with Solo and Licorice. So both of these guys are from like the old Challenger scene last year, and they were both on the two best teams
in the Challenger series.
Yeah, they were going up against each other very often, and as far as I know, they were pretty even. Like it would kind of go like back and forth.
Yeah,
and these guys played like there was a grudge between them.
Yeah. They wanted to solo kill each other.
Yeah, and Licorice actually ends up getting a solo kill, but it was kind of like the Darshan situation previously, where like he just has blood in his eyes after that, and he keeps going after these kills,
and then ends up dying for it.
But I mean, during one of those,
meanwhile, Cloud9 pops Rift Herald mid lane, takes 2 turrets.
Yeah,
Cloud9's pushing bot lane like
So I mean, there's like this like mini grudge match going up top, and the rest of Clutch is like, oh, we'll help, but they're just like conceding the rest of the map. But yeah, after that, it takes like 2 Barons and like 4 separate pushes down mid. That like honestly, if you had fallen asleep 4 different times and woken up, you would have thought it was the same play like every time. So yeah, like you said, I mean, there's not too much to like really dive into other than the fact that I didn't really like Clutch's draft overall compared to Cloud9's, and I think Cloud9 was just overall the better team.
Yeah, I mean, Smoothie played good.
Yeah,
Sneaky played good. Yeah. Jensen played good.
Yeah,
like they played well, but it was just the nature of the game to where it just got dragged out.
Yeah,
it's kind of a snooze fest.
And yeah, there's not really much of a time where you were like, oh wow, like Clutch is swinging this back in their favor. Yeah. Like it felt like Cloud9 had the game the whole time. It just took them forever to close it out. But yeah, Cloud9 coming away, another one between Echo Fox, Cloud9, and Team Liquid. They're all at the top of the standings. They all have their own strengths, which is I think really interesting.
No, I do think Cloud9 still looks like really clean, even after this game. Like,
I don't think it was their fault that the game bled out like this.
No,
for sure.
No. Another Smoothie Alistair game.
Yeah,
so good. He's so good.
Absolute beast. Speaking of clean, the next game, CLG versus FlyQuest, was not clean.
Not so clean. Not so fresh and not so clean.
Absolutely.
Still though, CLG versus FlyQuest.
It was a fun game.
It was a fun game to watch. Because my favorite team won. So
this is our 15-minute essay on why CLG is the best.
Yes. Strap yourself in. No. Rainover. Another PvE game from him.
But he wasn't on
Nunu.
Yep.
He was on Jarvan, and he shut down the enemy jungler pretty well.
Yeah, I think so too. Another game where like Ondas subbed out and Shrimp is in.
Yeah.
And again, not making like any moves really for the team. The game starts out kind of boring, like nothing really happens until like 10 minutes in.
There's like 10, 15 minutes in.
Yeah.
And there's like this weird fight around CLG's blue buff where CLG ends up...
It's a 1-for-1.
It's a 1-for-1.
Yeah.
There's this like weird part where Smoothie's like not in the front, not in the back. He's like walking around. He sees he sees Keen
mm-hmm.
and Shrimp,
mm-hmm.
like 50 HP.
Oh, you mean Bifrost? Bifrost is just like running around the
Who did I
outside.
say?
You said Smoothie.
Alistair.
We can't stop.
Alistair's.
We can't stop thinking about Smoothie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bifrost is sees them at 50 HP, goes in, tries to get the kill, doesn't.
Meanwhile, his team is dying and really could have used his health.
Yeah.
Further down, but
whatever. 1 for 1. Stixay is solo pushing bot, ends up getting solo first turret gold.
First turret gold. He clears out the wave. He's like 20 or 30 CS, I think, up at this point. He's absolutely massive.
Yes.
And then immediately after this play, CLG rotates top 4 members and takes the outer top turret. And then they push in for the second tier turret. And then like a fight erupts because Fleck was finally like matches their rotation.
Yes, and this was a hype fight. There were some clutch moments from CLG.
Yes.
This fight. So it is Biofrost again who's taking the brunt of everything.
Yes.
He gets hit by like so many ult, like the Sejuani ult,
Tower shots.
Darshan is tanking like the Gnar boulders for him, and he ends up falling. But then, who's about to die? I think is it Darshan because he's up far forward. Darshan is he's really low, and then who he roams up from mid. He's on Zillion, flashes to ult Darshan to save his life, and then Keen is on Orianna.
Yep.
He finds a good shockwave onto Darshan and Stixay. Stixay flashes forward through it, and they end up getting the kill on the top laner.
Yeah.
On Gnar.
And this is the first of many flash forwards from Stixay.
Like 4 or 5 flash forwards.
I think it was 5. He was playing out of his mind this game.
No. Super impressive play from him, really redeeming himself from the past 2 weeks.
So although that is very explosive and interesting, the mid game kind of stalls out like a little bit.
Yes.
It almost kind of felt like CLG was like, okay, we know, like calm down just a little bit. When we were popping off, but we don't want to get too crazy. So it kind of stalls out for a little bit. Then they start going all American ARAM, and they're just like fighting down mid. But Biofrost finally starts coming up clutch.
Yes.
He sees 6A and he's like, okay, I need to pull my way too.
Yep.
So he keeps wrapping flanks around mid, and it works out really great, actually. He's like flashing in, he's QE combos, he's knocking everybody up while 6A is pretty much frontlining.
Yeah. He's got the Zillion speed up, the Zillion ult. He's got QSS. He's got like a couple of really great QSSs this game.
Sejuani he's getting out of. It's all really good. He's doing so much damage. He's getting so many kills. His positioning is actually, especially like all things considered, with like you said, the Zillion ult and all that kind of stuff, is really good. Wild Turtle is actually...
He's just like
trying so hard to carry his team, and he's playing really well. Actually, his positioning is really good. He's pumping out insane damage, but his team is too heavy. So I mean, I think that happens like 3 times mid. There's just like they're fighting mid, and then Biofrost gets around,
and then they get a fight. Yeah, pretty much. So really smoothie-esque play from Biofrost this game on the Alistair. It was pretty sick. Stixay again, just he turned it around this week. Yeah,
he's playing like he should be, and like he has played before. A lot of people were wondering if he was washed up or if he was like all done. But
no, that's not to say that he's a perfect person.
He was still playing pretty aggro. There were like just butthole clenching moments where you're like, oh my god, he's so far up. And then Darshan split pushing really well. Maybe a little bit over aggressive.
Like just barely lost like the 1-for-1 trade onto Turtle like twice in a row. So I mean, he was still doing his job,
generating a lot of pressure for sure. Eventually, CLG grabs Baron and goes for the final push through the bot lane. They grab the inhib and they're fighting around the turrets in another like super close fight. Especially from like the position FlyQuest is in, and again, Wild Turtle just playing so hard to try to keep his team afloat. The fight is super close, but it ends up where like it's like even, and CLG's like kind of backing off, and then Wild Turtle jumps in and
Rainover EQs him. Kills him with the help of 6A. And
is another good game from Rainover too, especially like with his previous play. It seems like he's making more like calculated and like mindful plays. I mean, not to steal from like the analyst desk, but I think what they said was really important, that I think if CLG is going to continue to be successful, they need to have Darshan and BioFrost like
to be the
frontlining and letting Rainover follow up on that, because he doesn't seem to be. I don't know if he's just not confident or whatever it is, but he doesn't seem to be super great on the front line himself. And
again, stealing from the analyst desk, but like they were saying, if Rainover, does his whole Rainover style of stealing from the enemy jungle literally as much as he possibly can and shutting down the enemy jungler so that he will just have a lead no matter what, then like they're allowed to do that.
I think overall it's a pretty good game from CLG. It seems like they're kind of finding their footing and like how they want to play, which is really exciting, especially as a CLG fan.
I'm kind of disappointed in FlyQuest. Like the shrimp thing rubs me the wrong way.
I don't get it.
I thought Anda had some pretty good games.
I thought he looked pretty good too. I was pretty impressed with him. But
who knows?
Who knows what's going on? But and they were looking really good too. But hopefully they'll turn it around. But like you said, it's kind of seeming like we're finding more of like the central for teams.
The better teams are finding their cohesion, finding their team synergy, making smarter moves, playing the map better. The games are just going to get cleaner and cleaner as the year goes on. It's cool.
It's been really exciting. I think the split has been very awesome, and I'm really excited to see the rest of it. Cool.
So that wraps up our first Armchair Analysis video, at least the first one that we bothered to name. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you'd like to see more content from us in the future. Again, you can always flame us in the comments, and you can like the video if you liked it, or dislike it if you didn't like it. That's how YouTube works. So the upcoming week has a patch. Patch that's coming out. So we are going to be putting out a video in the middle of the week, us on webcam talking about the patch, also probably just talking about whatever we want.
It's our channel.
Gonna be, deal with it. So keep an eye out for that. It should be fun. Some more like less structure, just more kind of bullshitting around. It should be fun. Thanks for watching.
See you next time.